Your campus, your news, now.
Hello, and welcome to UT News. I'm Luis Suida.
And I'm Marissa Lewis. The Rathskeller was a space for students to share their creative talents on Wednesday night. Beyond, UT's Creative Literary Journal hosted a Halloween-themed open mic night. Students performed a variety of acts, including singing, poetry, and prose reading, as well as a performance from UT's Improv Club, Gluten-Free Improv.
This local election season, UT students will see a familiar face on the ballot. UT News reporter Claire Farrow sat down with student Tyler Barrett, who is running for city council, to find out a little bit more about him.
Here with Tyler Barrett, a junior government world affairs and history double major, and he is running for the Tampa City Council, District 4. So how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. So what really got you interested in Tampa politics?
Well, I have always been interested in politics since I was very young. My grandparents were very, very politically active, not in the sense that they knew certain politicians or campaigned for certain people. They did that to a lot. But my grandparents taught me that no matter what you have, you can go wherever you want to go in life. And so they supported people with progressive ideas about moving forward with positive change and implementing practical ideas that will benefit people in the community without taking a ton of money out of, the budget. So I've just always felt a conviction to stand up for the causes and the people who are running for office, because I think that, we need better people in office. I mean, it's that simple.
And what's it like balancing school and a campaign?
It's interesting, and I can do it without my closest friends. I call them family. I do, and I consider them family, and they're my strongest volunteers. They're there to pick me up when, someone tells us, oh, you're too young, or you don't have enough experience, or you don't have a law degree. But, they're the ones in my ear constantly reminding me that we can move forward with this movement and we can make a national impact. So that's what we intend to do. And we're growing every single day. So, there are people who hold me accountable, so I don't get a free pass, unfortunately. But, it's school comes first no matter what. But, we're doing it. It's a team effort, and that's what's required for something like this.
And if you do happen to be elected, what do you hope to change? What are your goals?
There are many, but to name a few, one is human trafficking. Tampa has one of the highest revenues for human trafficking in the country, and it's disappointing and unacceptable, to be frank, that anyone in our community, particularly UT students, should have to worry about that. It's just not acceptable for me. And I think we need to raise awareness on this issue. Our age group especially, we are the ones with the energy, so we have to raise awareness on certain issues that City Council is just not really paying attention to right now. Another is homelessness. There are a number of young people that I see every single day on my way to school on the side of the road, and it breaks my heart, but we also have to realize that we have to take care of our community members, whether they're homeless or they're rich. We have to be there for each other. And there are so many other progressive cities, Charlotte, North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, who have invested in ways to get their homeless off the street, and they save money by not sending these people to jail and housing them. And we get them off the street and the crime rate lowers, and the use of drugs and alcohol lowers. I personally feel, I don't have a lot of evidence that suggests this, but we're still studying that, having homeless people on the street, it does account for pollution, unfortunately. And Tampa City Council has actually passed an ordinance that makes sleeping in public illegal. So these homeless people, they have nowhere to sleep. So they're going in, old houses or abandoned buildings. So, we want to work with the other powerful organizations within the community who deal with this every single day. And we want to come up with some really practical, but, immediate ideas that can be implemented for that. And those are two of many, many issues, but
get involved with bettering the city of Tampa, because how can especially out-of-state students?
Right. Well, anyone who's lived at this address, so anyone who's lived on campus or off campus for a year, so anyone who's lived in Florida for a year, can register to vote in Tampa if they live and have residency in Tampa. And many students, we already have around 1,000 who are registered now, but a lot of students don't necessarily think about voting when they go to school, and that's completely understandable. But as young people, we have to remember that we are the leaders of the future. So if we're spending all of our days in Tampa working and going to school and, you know, participating in community activism, which is what a lot of these organizations on campus do. I don't know any organization on campus who doesn't I don't want to say require, but, you know, who doesn't promote volunteering in their organization. So we here at UT understand what that's about, and we understand the bigger picture. So now it's time to take that awareness and step it up a notch, and you can do that by voting. To vote is to have your voice heard. So, you know, we want to go through the requirements to register with every student who will possibly listen and get them registered so they can start making decisions for Tampa, because they live here. We all do. So.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Tyler,
All right, no
for
problem.
being here and just sharing your hopes and your vision for this. So
I appreciate
thank you
it.
very much.
Thank you.
I'm Claire Farrow, and this is UT News.
It's almost time to register for classes for spring semester. I learned a few tricks from Jovan Reyes, the Associate Director of Academic Advising, that can help make registration easier.
So I guess the first place, if we're on the ut.edu page, if students want to get a glimpse of what all their requirements are, without logging into Spartan Web or anything like that, they would go to the ut.edu homepage. Under the academics link, there's another link titled University Catalogs, and so students are able to pick whichever catalog they are under. They can choose to pick the catalog that they originally came in on when they first attended UT, or they can pick any catalog year that they're under before they graduate. It can't be a catalog year previous to their enrollment at UT. That's the only catch. And the other piece is that they can't split catalog years either, so they can only pick one. So if we're looking at a new freshman or new transfer, then the 2014-2015 catalog is what we would use. And they can use the catalog search bar to find out anything specifically that they're looking for. But if they know, where their major is located, so let's say hypothetically if they're College of Business, it'll give them a drop down of all the majors, all the minors, and then within that they can see the requirements as well as 4-year plans. So they can see a step-by-step, semester-by-semester view of what their major requirements are. Now the 4-year plans are more of a guide. They're not meant to be an exact plan that you follow semester by semester, because obviously courses will close up, or the professor that they want is not teaching the course, or it's not at a time that they want, things of that nature. So it's more or less that they can pick and choose courses and follow the plan loosely, but it is it's a good guide nonetheless. So the catalog is very important in order to know also any course descriptions, any prerequisites that they might need, when courses are offered, and that's going to be located under the... Actually, I thought it was just under... Oh, sorry. It's under course descriptions right here. It's the second link. And so they can look at each course and each prerequisite and when the courses are offered semester by semester, because some courses are only offered possibly once every year, or only in the fall semester, or things of that. And then some courses are just offered all the time. In this way too, they can find out what's a social science, what's a humanities, and things of that nature too. Which you can also look up the baccalaureate experience within the course catalog as well. That's another area to get more general info. But mostly, if students can pair that up with Spartan Web, that's typically what I would prefer them doing. If they're just on the Spartan Web page and they're not logging in, the course search is extremely useful to get familiar with right off the bat. Obviously, they would be looking at if we're looking for the semester that they're going to register for, so we're looking at spring courses first. And then another piece that's really important is the course area field here. in which they'll show, if they don't know what a specific baccalaureate experience requirement would be, they can look up social sciences, they can look up non-Western courses, international, global, things of that nature. And even for honors students, if they're looking to complete an honors course, that's what the honors program courses will pop up with. And now students know exactly what their course codes are. So if they're a psychology major, they can just type in PSY, or if they're counting ACC or bio or whatever the case may be, they can push that through and they can just find a list of all the psych courses. I typically don't have students type in the actual numbers as well. It's just easier just to see all of them, but that's obviously a preference. If they're already familiar with the course schedule search, then they can kind of navigate it however they want to.
What's the best way that students can start the registration process?
I would say the best thing that they should do is to figure out what their registration time is first. Figure out if they have any holds on their accounts, whether it be a bursar hold, academic advising hold, a health center hold, because they can't register without those holds being cleared, and they also can't register without their advisor clearing them as well, so that's important. Other than that, I would say those are the two main things, and then also being prepared, in which they would look at the university catalog that they came in under to see what their requirements are, what the prerequisites are, looking at the course schedule, seeing what's being offered, and making a couple schedules to kind of figure things out. Once their priority, and using their priority registration date's important. I would say that's probably one of the biggest things is, students forget to register sometimes, or they wait too long to register, and that's the thing. That's why they call it priority registration. You want to do it as quickly as you can,
Right.
So that you can make changes later on. But you're trying to make the best schedules you can right when you get it. So that's always important.
If you ever have any questions about registration, reach out to your advisor or the Academic Advising Office in North Walker Hall.
In your latest sports news, the women's volleyball team defeated Rollins College on Wednesday. The Lady Spartans won all 3 sets of the game. Before the game, Ralph's baked goods sales raised money for breast cancer awareness.
That's all the time we have for today.
We'll see you next time for more UT News.